Okay, hello. This is my last video on Burning Man 2022. I'm grateful to be able to make these videos. I'm grateful for the experience, and I appreciate you persevering as I publish these videos on it. I don't have any images to share, videos to share on this one. I just think this is an important aspect of Burning Man that I think, just to be aware, which is basically food at Burning Man. So I'll share a little bit of the experience there. In 2019, I had gone, and this was my second time return, so I had a little bit of an understanding of it. One of the things I thought is that, a couple of things. So you're preparing. Most people are coming in a tent or an RV. I would say the majority of people, and they're trying to then figure out what food should they bring, how much food should they bring, and those are difficult questions. And in 2019, we left with a lot of food, a lot more. We left just with a lot of leftovers. I think that's a really sad piece of it. Is like we're trying to reduce this carbon footprint, reduce this impact, and you're sort of trying to predict your appetite in advance, and then that's a really difficult thing to do. Whereas in 2022, as we rolled out of Burning Man, we have a little bit left over, and then we got stuck in a 10-hour exodus, which I've created a video on that exodus, basically by the end of that exodus, we had ingested, and then the drive back to Salt Lake City, all of that food was gone. And so we felt really sort of good about sort of our predicted amount of food that we had gotten, and then the leftover at the end of it, which, feels good as you, obviously, you're spending money on that food, but then you don't want to be wasteful. And so that's a big part. And, what I would recommend from someone who's only gone to my second time at Burning Man, but I think, has optimized a little bit from the first year to the second year now with the awareness of what it could be. Also considering that Burning Man 2022 was much hotter than 2019, at least what I can remember, and seemingly objectively based on weather reports, is like, what kind of food should you bring? And so for our camp, a lot of people who attend Burning Man, there is sort of dietary restrictions, or sort of at least ways that they want to uphold. So there's a lot of vegetarians, there's a lot of vegans. A person at our camp had a nut allergy. There's gluten intolerances. There's lots of sort of reasons that your food can vary. For us, we had one vegetarian specifically in our RV, and then we had no nut allergies or anything, and then we had the rest of everyone just sort of I guess a traditional sort of diet, non-vegetarian, non-vegan. I don't know if the right term would be traditional there. That seems disrespectful, but anyways, with that in mind, there was a lot of drive to get things that were obviously last. If you do have an RV, which we're privileged to have, you then can have a fridge, but not that much space in the fridge. Then you've also got a freezer. So that opens up a lot of opportunity for you at Burning Man to bring different kind of foods. One of the biggest recommendations I can make to have for yourself, but more for gifting, is freezies. The joy that we gave people bringing out freezies, I wish I had actually brought another pack, was one of the most wonderful parts. And then there were some times just getting back from a hot ride, or even just a night, to have a freezie. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I smile, glazingly at those moments. A couple other things that stuck out to me that were staples for us, whether they were healthy or not, they are dense and they are full of protein, was Cliff Bars. Again, they're basically chocolate bars glorified as protein bars. I don't really trust them in that regards, but they do hit the spot. They taste good, and they've got some weight to them. For myself, there was a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I actually brought sandwich meat, tomatoes, mayonnaise, and so especially for a quick meal, especially as you're trying to go in the flow and everyone's like, hey, we got to go to this event. You got 10 minutes to rally, and then we're on our way. And if you're out, if you miss it, you miss it, kind of thing. And it's actually a good mindset to have. I think if everyone just just waited for everyone, you'd miss a lot of the experience at Burning Man. So that quickness is important. So peanut butter and jelly, or even if it's a little bit of longer time, make that sandwich. A lot of sort of density to it, some weight, and could keep you full. So things like that. There is sort of this common feeling that almost like subconsciously and consciously your body sort of detects that you're at Burning Man, and then sort of shrinks your appetite for it. I think you both don't eat that much at Burning Man, but then when you get to a spot where maybe you've had a long day or a long night and you're coming back and you get back to the RV, then there's a lot of feasts that sort of happen. So there's a little bit of conflict, I would say, in that advice there. So one of the I guess just continuing on that, a couple other things that stuck out to me as good things were trail mix and sort of nuts, really valuable in that we had a lot of jerky and sort of pepperettes. I think those were really good for us to have. We had some meal replacement shakes. Those were very helpful for us. Ice, not food, but ice makes everything better. Vatzel and I made some chai tea as well as had some Tazo concentrate to get a little energy boost and some caffeine. So thinking about also energy there, tea, very helpful in the morning. And then if you've been pushing through and you want to keep continuing, really nice to have, some sort of caffeine or something like that. Bananas did not last very long. That was one thing that stuck out to me. I'm trying to think what else. We got some sort of like fried chicken, which at the start seemed like some great idea. And then like a couple days in, I was trying to eat it and I was basically choking. I told the camp that I almost died and I was almost like ready for it to happen. I was up on the RV and I was like, all right, this is it. And it was not it. I luckily found some water and I made it through. And then a couple other things here. I just wanted to pull this up. I think this was a really interesting. I made a video on it. Classic Tyler, spamming within videos. But this was, nice screenshot, Tyler. This was about the Chomp guide. So this video came up before, and I think it was maybe the first year that it had been done, but sort of showed all the camps and then the food served, the location, and then the camp name. So super, super helpful. Here is the PDF. Obviously, this is out of date now, but I'll link it for you here. And then I'm hoping that they do this in 2023, again, because it was super, super helpful. In addition to that, there is basically the iBurn app, which was 2022. And, I'll just drop this link just for future reference. And it shows all the events going on, and you can see it even sort of categorize it as food. So there was a lot of times where we'd wake up in the morning, you're looking for tea, you're looking for coffee, and it all works offline. It tells you where you are in the location, like if you're, it sort of geomaps you so you can even figure out how far it is, how long of a walk or bike ride it is, and super, super helpful. Generally, I found out later that there was a lot of like amazing dinner events and stuff. I did not experience that. Most of the experience that I had at Burning Man was like waffles in the morning. And morning is a funny thing at Burning Man is like probably I would say 10 a.m. is considered morning. Everyone's partying, everyone's having fun, and so morning's a little later than what you would consider breakfast. But coffee, tea, waffles, pancakes. I did come across some bigger meals than that, but those were some of the main staples, and I do not underestimate the power of those, the value of those, especially after one of the sunrise sets. We came back, the Mayan Warrior and Rolling Hearts, and got a waffle on the way back, and we just melted. It was the perfect end to that, and then sent us into a sugar comatose, which was needed at the time and probably helped us sleep through the hot weather that was. There was a Belgian waffle that was acquired at one time that I still think of today. I know it wasn't that long ago, but I love a Belgian waffle, and it hit the spot perfect. A couple places that were doing smoothies. That's an amazing one. Obviously healthier, cold. Other places doing sort of ice cones, which are a great one, non-alcoholic or alcoholic. I tend towards non-alcoholic, but there are options for that where you can get food, you can get it mixed with waffle or with alcohol. And then just a couple, one last favorite, which makes sense. One of my favorite was Awful Waffle, which I went to, got a waffle, and also they're yelling at you about how bad the waffle is. The truth is, it's not a bad waffle. It's a good one. So that was a good, a good experience too. And so I've got a couple of links on here just so you can check out. And if you're interested to know like what is actually going on for food at Burning Man, you can see, what at least 2022 was like. So then maybe you have some predictions of 2023 if you're planning on going. And then generally, I'm just trying to sort of ruminate for just one more second to see anything else from a food recommendation. I mentioned the trail mix was a big one for us. One of the things was, I think, powerful was these hydration tablets where I was drinking, obviously you're supposed to drink a ton of water, 2 gallons a day is sort of what's recommended. First couple of days I lost my hydration tablets and I was drinking a lot of water, but still felt dehydrated. As I started to incorporate even one of those a day, I felt like my hydration restored. So that was a really good one in that perspective, and one that I'm glad that I took. I think that's it. I've talked a lot about Burning Man throughout all these videos. I'm glad that I did. I'm also glad that I think I'm done. Unless you guys have questions, maybe I'll respond in comments and everything. But overall, I've really gone pretty in depth on sharing the experience and hopefully some things that are insightful along the way if you're planning to go in the future, or you're just interested in what happened at 2022. So as always, I'll drop a couple links and resources in the video below. Appreciate the feedback. I'm trying to improve my mic quality and stuff. I apologize it's not going, and I'm also more importantly for Burning Man trying to fit and adhere to the principles of Burning Man. So while I am sort of including that in the name of these videos, I'm really not trying to sort of promote myself that much. Honestly, I'm just trying to share some insights and resources in my own experience. So I hope that you feel that way. And if you have any thoughts that I'm not doing that, or maybe you're just saying that I am, I would love to hear them, because I'm always trying to get better and make sure that I'm creating content honorably, especially when it comes to something like Burning Man, which I love so much. So this has been a little bit about food at Burning Man. I hope I gave you some insights along the way. Thank you so much for checking this out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.